probably, but I'm just gonna cue him in a moment.
My freeze
when
frame,
I'm
guys.
sure. Go.
Hello, welcome to the Enginerdy show. This is Mr. Pold. I said that.
When I'm doing most things, I do.
Oh,
Only if I'm watching a movie and the character goes on.
only when I'm not driving in a tunnel do I hold my breath.
Smart.
Our fake sponsor this week is Biotics. Try our new unique blend of anti and probiotics to get just the right balance in your tummy.
That's a real thing.
What?
Antibiotics and probiotics at the same time?
You know, there are such thing as probiotics,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And antibiotics.
Yes. And they
But
do
this
the
is the
opposite
first
things.
time
You
they've
combine
been
them.
mixed together.
You know that if you take
Out and staying all day.
and did it work?
Yeah, I don't feel too bad. I don't know. I just had a sore throat. And every time I ate, my stomach would just be in pain, like hurt for some reason every time.
Sounds like
I
a
ate.
problem.
Well, I mean, I wasn't rushing off to the toilet
until I started taking antibiotics.
Ew.
But we'll get to that in Nerdicle.
And just joint aches and headaches and all that jazz. Caffeine and
that's your
Tylenol
problem.
help
Too
a
much
lot.
jazz.
Oh.
Too much jazz? The Transformer?
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's weird.
But I'm going to visit Master Zed and Charlie.
Fun.
Oh, fun.
It's my daughter's birthday.
Hey, mine too. Oh yeah, they share a birthday.
They have the same birthday.
That makes sense.
And so she wanted to go down to there and go to the science museum.
Awesome.
The Museum of Science and Industry.
Nerd.
She's a self-proclaimed nerd. And we're going to go to the zoo too.
Oh, fun.
I had a conversation about nerds recently with somebody because our whole family's a nerd. Our nerds, I guess. We're a giant nerd.
And all form the head.
It's like, yeah, but that doesn't seem to be a bad thing anymore. When I was a kid, you called somebody a nerd, you were making fun of them. It's
us too.
Until they were your boss.
Well, then you're not kids anymore.
No. But I didn't realize I was a nerd until I was an adult.
Like kid boss.
Looking back, I was like,
fall.
oh yeah, I guess I was.
I was pretty nerdish, and then I went to engineering school, and then I went full on nerd.
Oh.
Full nerd.
The full nerd.
The full nerdy. And now you have.
Yeah.
How about that?
So I got my trumpet back the other last week.
From where?
From whence?
So at work, I guess they have an orchestra.
Yeah.
That practices.
You're joining the work orchestra?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
That practices during lunches and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine who's in the orchestra, somehow it came up that I had.
Oh, we could be an 80s band.
Yes.
Saxophone, keyboard.
I need to find someone that can play
kit.
the keyboard. I guess you just need to play like chords and stuff on it.
Well,
right?
you can pre-program stuff.
Oh, that's right. Just pre-program it.
So then you just sit there and go boop, boop, and then you can sing backup vocals.
There you go. Wait. I'm playing. I'm going to be playing the trumpet.
You can play trumpet and keyboard because you can handed most
the
of the time.
problem is
you can hit
the little
key with your elbow.
That
just take your shoes off, put it on the floor.
The little hook that your pinky was on that you can use to hold it one-handed is broken off.
You can fix that.
Yeah, a little glue.
I can solder.
I don't have one.
I
don't have anything to solder on there.
We can knit.
Oh.
LFG can 3D print something that just clips on there.
Just clips on the trumpet?
Yeah.
And it could be red, like C-3PO's weird red leg in the new movies.
Wasn't it his arm?
Oh, was his arm?
I think so.
No, it was his leg in the old movies was silver, and the rest of it was gold. Or
silver and gold.
So you make it bronze. No, do you have
the trumpet's
silver trumpet?
Brass.
Brass, there you go.
Yeah. It's a brass instrument.
Yes.
I should get my saxophone out and practice again.
I bet it'll sound awesome.
I bet it will right off the start.
I bet you need some new reeds.
No, it's probably fine.
Really?
Yeah, you just gotta soak them
in
your mouth.
You need to carry one around in your mouth for a few days.
Yeah.
All right. I bet you better have one in your mouth in the morning.
So speaking of dreams,
getting ready for your
I had this dream we were outside for some outside event. and we're
Yes.
underneath like tree canopy, and something was falling out of the trees, and then looked down, and there was these little tiny, like, oh, they're not quite worms, but not quite.
Like little caterpillar.
Yeah, kind of like little
babies.
caterpillars, but they were like grabbing onto my arm and like trying to dig in. So I was like pulling them off individually,
Oh.
trying to smash them and
Were they
running
green?
away from the tree. They were green.
Mm.
It was creepy.
You're having visions of the future.
I hope not. That does happen sometimes.
Oh, that was in your dream.
That was my dream. It was
Reminds me
horrible.
of the dream I had of a volcanic eruption,
And then
Ooh.
he
and then I woke up.
died in a volcano.
No, I was going out to my car. I had a Jeep at the time, Cherokee, and so in the dream, I was in this building. I was going out to this my Jeep Cherokee to grab something out of the car, and we're up on like a hill, and I could look out over this valley at the mountain range in this background.
Ooh, were you Pierce Brosnan at the time?
Oh, that'd be cool.
No,
Oh,
but
you were
I
the chick.
was looking out across the valley, and all of a sudden, this wall of ash comes over the mountain and sweeps through the valley, and I'm able to get in my car right as it reaches the other side of the valley, and just the whole thing, it goes black because it's dark.
I bet
And the
And I woke
car
up.
the next day would not start.
it was
Well,
full of ash.
Probably. Well, I was trying to close all the vents when I was in there
Oh
too,
yeah.
but it was
I'm
crazy
guessing
dream.
mine was probably caused by me laying on my arm till I was asleep, and then unrolling off of it, and then waking up with the pins and needles feeling. You know?
Ah.
Oh yeah.
A thought just occurred to me. That might be it.
It could be.
But I wasn't really freaked out in the dream. It was just annoying.
Like,
Stupid little things all over me.
Things keep burrowing into my skin.
Yeah, it was creepy.
So
Gosh.
annoying. Gosh.
They don't even eat their ham.
Yeah, they should eat ham instead. Ham on whole wheat.
All right.
All right.
We're still doing banter.
Yes. Any other banter?
Yeah, the car I've been talking about is dead.
Dead as a doornail.
Talked to the mechanic. It needs a new engine. New engine, labor, and price of engine would probably be like $3,000 or $4,000. So we paid for the car. So I'm not gonna throw bad money after good.
Mhm.
And so I'm teaching my son to drive my manual transmission car. Hopefully the clutch survives.
Mhm.
He's only been
Does
at
it have
smoke
power
once.
steering yet?
No. But he's
No.
Oh, but
burly.
he's yeah. Because I was thinking, wonder if I should let my daughter, who's starting to get to where she's gonna learn to drive, try to drive my truck. But I'm like, no, because I have no power steering.
Oh.
That's not gonna.
I
be
did tell him
good.
one that even though yes, it is proper technique to put your arm behind the seat and look, it's like you're gonna need both hands probably. So turn and look still, and check the other blind spot too. But
That's why I turn and look, and I have a backup camera.
and I told him just get it moving a little bit, just has to move a little bit, and then it's easier to turn.
Yeah.
I also told him that I
Mine,
don't
you
care.
have to like gun it to make it easier.
I
to
don't
turn.
know how he was driving his car, but I know when
Poorly.
he's driving my car, he's gonna be driving it nicely
Not like you.
and not speeding. Yeah,
Oh.
that's for
Not-
me to do.
Not getting
Don't
caught
try
by the
to-
cops.
Don't
doing
try to do
cookies.
donuts in it with my low profile wide tires because it won't do it without badly damaging something probably.
Can you do burnouts?
I would rather he
Ooh.
not. Now,
Well-
even I mean, I've had him drive it a couple times, and he's probably going to try to drive it to school next week by himself.
Wow.
Dun dun dun. So we'll see how that goes.
What are you gonna drive?
The Fiero.
That's ready.
No,
No,
Oh.
we're cutting out footholes.
Yeah.
So he can
Gone
Flintstone it.
Flintstone.
Well, for now, he's going to be dropping me off at the park and ride.
Oh.
Oh, I see. So maybe
Just
this
have
spot will open
Ross pick you up in the morning.
I might be able to do that. We'll see.
up.
Have
Is
him
he
pick
nice
me
enough?
up too.
Can you swing back and pick me up later? Oh, just kidding.
Can you just be our personal Uber?
No, I could easily get to the park and ride on my bike in the morning,
Oh,
It's all downhill.
but getting home would be.
Well, then he can drive you back
Oh, I can just
in
throw
the
it in his truck.
truck.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
talk about that.
You should do that. What are you gonna do with your bike while you're at work? Bring it on the ferry?
No, just throw
Put
it
it
in the
truck.
truck.
Oh, duh.
Just have to get
There's places to park your bike down at the ferry.
Yeah, that's true. But there's weirdos there during the day.
The weirdos might play with your bike.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
No, it seems like a too healthy option, really. And we're getting to winter, so
Yeah, it's gonna be wet a
It's
lot.
too healthy.
it's way too healthy, even though it's coasting downhill. I'm really good at going downhill fast.
He's aerodynamic.
Well, I went last summer. I went mountain biking with some friends from work, and I had a hard time keeping up after the
bet.
first 15 minutes. I might have actually puked afterwards because I was overexerted. But when this really long, kind of straightaway downhill
You
part,
passed everybody.
oh yeah, it's way faster than everyone.
But
Like,
you didn't
wow, you
have
got
to-
really good bike skills.
you
I was
didn't
like,
have
Like,
to-
no, I just didn't have brakes.
You didn't have to push them over on the way by. Though.
Yeah, that was kind of
had
low.
a stick stuck in it.
They're not your
but
friends anymore, are they?
I was surprised myself how able I still had the skills to handle a bike. Although it was weird,
Going at high speeds.
yeah, doing stuff like that not on a BMX bike, which is what I grew up on.
And doing a wheelie the whole time.
That wasn't intentional though. It's just the girth.
Too much torque.
I got too much ballast.
Like,
on
I
the
didn't realize
back
we are gonna
end.
go ride for an hour. Come on, guys.
Gotta work up to these things.
Was what the previous summer I'd gone on that long thing with the scouts. It was
Car
a
ride.
22-mile bike ride.
A long car ride with scouts
Whoa,
would do
why would
anyone
you do
in.
that?
I don't know. And then we get to the trail. I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then they freshly graveled the trail in a lot of spots. So it was like
Like
thick gravel. You're like,
6-inch deep gravel.
pea
get up.
gravel.
I was like, oh, don't worry, guys. I'll make sure no one lags behind. I'll just hang back and make sure to catch all the stragglers.
Have snacks waiting for me when I get to you.
Got to one point where it kind of verged off. I was like, I don't know which way they went. It was nice though. We got to our campsite and we floated the river afterwards.
On your bikes?
No. And then I think that was a trip with Zoc, and we got to the campsite and everyone else so we were in the same tent, and so we got my phone out and watched Lord of the Rings.
The whole trilogy?
No, we just
Oh.
watched the first half of the first movie, which is
Oh,
funny.
okay.
The next summer we went on a
And you
18-mile
watched the
backpacking
second
trip,
half.
and we watched the second half
Oh boy.
because that one we my wife bought tarps for us to make shelters out of. And we got there, and there were 4 foot by 6 foot tarps.
Oh no.
So my middle son actually took his and found a bit large log and like used tent stakes to nail it in. So he had like a lean-to against the log, and he said he was really comfortable.
Hmm.
But Zoc and I raided a little bit, and we kept on waking up, and it was off my mat and underneath the tarp. So we both got soaked.
Nice.
So the second half of that trip, we were doing over 3 days. We did the second half of the trip in one day, which was like 12 or 13 miles.
Mhm.
Mm.
But the second half of it was downhill,
Ah,
so it was easier.
so you just slid down on
So
your
we
tarp.
everyone else is gonna stay one more night. Could have used as a parachute. Yeah, everyone else stayed the one extra night, but they gave us the car keys to the big or full size van, and so we hiked all the way back and then watched the second half of Lord of the Rings before we started the year before.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Cool.
So anyway, car's dead. Next car my son gets is going to be one he buys himself.
Well, you gotta stick a small block Chevy
have
in
a
that
job?
thing.
Does he have a job?
No,
Oh, okay.
but
So
hence
this will
he's
be
driving
a
my car.
ways off.
Does
right.
does Zoc have a job?
I'm not sure yet. He had some pretty good leads, so
Hopefully.
need to find out. Being in a different state now.
State of mind.
Nope, he's now liquid.
Has it been that hot there? Oh.
Now gelatinous.
That's semi-liquid. All right, let's go on nerd
So let's do some. No, it's nerdiculture.
nerdiculture.
Get it right.
Oh, we have 2 segments that start with nerd.
Yeah, weird one.
And one with
Okay,
nerd in
My
the
so-
middle.
ran, which is really ironic.
For
I don't
some
like running.
reason, I got interested in antibiotics this week.
Because you were taking them.
I was taking them, yes.
Sweet, delicious antibiotics.
Oh, I like to put them in a shake. Just kidding.
Oh, I did come up with a life hack for taking antibiotics because
You
these pills
snort them.
Are huge.
were gigantic. So
Those were suppositories.
Keister 'em.
Oh, they were going in the wrong end.
Oh, these taste horrible.
You have taste buds there? Oh, that's unfortunate.
No,
Nature's
I-
mistakes.
I found if I placed the pill perpendicular to my tongue
Mm-hmm.
and then swallowed them, they went down with no problem.
Weird.
So
Perpendicular.
So standing
so
on end.
Long way.
Oh.
No.
It was normal to my tongue.
I didn't get to stand up.
Instead of,
So
parallel to the tongue,
Really?
perpendicular.
Parallel
And
to
it
You think
goes
that'd
right
be-
down.
you
To
think
the
that'd be
axis.
harder?
I know, but it isn't.
Weird.
Because your
Huh.
your throat goes, oh, this is really big. I need to make room for it.
Is that
Yeah.
how that works? I
Yeah,
don't
because it has a
have conversations with my throat usually. I guess I do technically.
well, we always heard you were talking out your
Oh,
no.
okay. Anyway, so as we all know, antibiotics are used to prevent bacterial infection.
Well,
Treat them, not
treat
prevent.
them, not prevent.
Well,
They would
them
prevent, but
also.
that would be
Oh, yeah, to
you
treat.
build an
I
immunity or something.
misspoke.
Nice spike pun.
So what I found is interesting is penicillin, which is an antibiotic. The way it kills bacteria is it disrupts the bacteria when it's dividing,
Oh,
Ooh.
and so it makes it so the bacteria can't divide, and instead of dividing, it sheds its cell wall,
oh, that's
and
not
then
good.
that kills it.
That happened to me once.
Yeah. So
It's like Eddie
um,
Dufresne.
one of the other things that antibiotics disrupts is your gut flora.
And fauna.
And fauna, yes. So I've found some interesting things about gut flora. Usually it's established in the first or second year of your life.
I didn't have one of those.
And it's a mutualistic relationship.
Oh.
So you benefit from the bacteria being in your gut, and the bacteria benefits from being in your gut.
Because bacteria doesn't do well on the sidewalk.
Not usually. So
That's why when you throw up, it's like, let me back in.
Yeah,
So
you have to eat it.
some of the things that a gut bacteria does
Do you
for
want to maintain your flora or not?
is it changes fiber into short chain fatty acids
Can I get a
that
straw?
can strengthen your immune system. It synthesizes vitamins B and K,
Oh, the
Okay.
most delicious. of the
metabolizes
vitamins.
bile acids
Yummy.
and food toxicants,
I'm glad it has to do that, not me.
and it prevents the growth of harmful bacteria.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, like children.
Yeah.
What?
No. So when you take antibiotics, it can, affect your gut flora.
Oh, that's right. Children are parasites.
Yeah.
So it could make it so pathogenic bacteria grow instead.
Mm.
Pathogenic's my favorite Marvel superhero.
It also reduces the production of the short chain fatty acids, and it also directly irritates your stomach, and that's what gives you the runs.
Mm.
Is all these different ways
Yeah.
that the gut flora is disrupted.
So treat them
leads to
nice,
that.
people.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
Take them out for a nice dinner. Oh, you guys will like this.
now there have been treatments made where they have you ingest other people's gut flora.
Yes.
It's called probiotics.
No fecal
No.
transplant.
Yes,
Oh.
fecal transplant. It sounds as bad as I don't know if it's as bad as it
That's
sounds,
why
but it
before
sounds
you
pretty
start
bad.
antibiotics, you're supposed to keep a stool sample from yourself so you can repopulate. You just
I
put it in
read
the
that
freezer.
about 60% of the solids in your stool samples are bacteria.
Yeah.
By
think-
weight or volume?
I think I've heard that too.
I don't know. Same?
No idea.
I don't know either.
Oh, it's
Um,
moving?
So one of the things about antibiotics is you can get antibiotic resistant bacteria
Oh no.
Yes, you can.
because the antibiotics kill off the bacteria that can be killed off by antibiotics.
It takes out the weak
So
ones,
the
so only
ones
the
that
strong
aren't killed off,
survive.
then they survive and they keep reproducing.
That's how
What?
people did it too. Kill off the weak.
That's why they want you to take
That's
it
why
for
there's
your
no
prescribed amount
Neanderthals
of
left.
time, so you can.
Yes, so you can kill off all of it. And yeah, so the resistance, the
So you guys actually came
antibiotic
up.
resistant bacteria.
Did you come up with this fake sponsor after seeing his topic?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like
of
you
course.
guys are really strange.
We're both
so,
sick.
Overbiotics can lead to the resistance thing. So like people taking antibiotics for like a viral infection,
Oh yeah.
it's not going to work.
Nope.
People trying to use it as a preventative measure.
Or birth control. Straight out.
Yeah. There's
Also
different
doesn't work on
studies.
broken bones.
There's some studies that say antibiotics and birth control don't go together. Some say that there's no issue, but
Aren't children biotics? You think that would work?
macrobiotics.
Uh,
And anyway, so the first antibiotics were
the guillotine.
developed by a guy named Paul Ehrlich in the 1880s.
He liked to lick air.
Well,
Let
so
me lick your air, my darling.
he based it on a dye that he found that would only color certain types of bacteria. So he's like, oh well, maybe we can make something that only kills certain types of
He
bacteria.
must have been fun at a party.
Well, he developed the antibiotic treatment for syphilis.
Oh.
So
Cool.
and then there's a guy named Sir
E. coli?
I almost said Ian Fleming. No, it's not the James Bond guy. Sir Alexander Fleming,
Oh, it's his brother.
I guess. Or his uncle? I don't know. He accidentally discovered penicillin.
On his pizza, right?
No, when he found that mold.
I learned all my medical stuff from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He had some kind of
The movie.
staph bacteria in a petri dish. And
Kept it on staff? He paid it?
well, his staff person left the window open
Oh,
and some of the mold landed in the dish. And he almost threw it away, but then he noticed something. So he took
It's
it under the
moving.
microscope and found that all
It's
the bacteria around
alive.
the mold was dead.
Cool.
It's dead, Jim.
And so he's like, haha, eureka.
We need to be
Here,
eating
someone
more
eat this.
mold.
So
Lick this.
so he
Rub it
thought
on
there
your
must be
belly.
some kind of substance emitted by this penicillium mold. And so he called it penicillin.
Weird. That's creative.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, penicillium comes from the Latin word for bush, which is also the root word for pencil because of the
Weird.
shape of it, I guess. I don't know. But
What pencils are you using?
The kind you run through your hair.
but he wasn't able to stabilize it in a usable form because he
Lame.
wasn't a chemist. But he also had very poor communication skills, so no one paid any attention to his discovery.
Turns out he was just speaking Klingon the whole time.
But he kept growing it and distributing it to people, and then finally, so this all happened in 1928.
Whoa.
That was a good year.
So in
Fine vintage of mold.
1940, a group at Oxford began doing full-scale research on the stuff, and so Fleming and one of those researchers named Ernst Chain received a Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1945 together.
Cool.
Nice.
So they can make synthetic antibiotics these days, but one of the things they're running into is they're not making new antibiotics fast enough to keep pace with the antibiotic resistant bacteria that are popping up.
Yeah.
So they got to figure out a way to fund research into that. And it sounds like they're attempting different things to try to get things rolling. But
Yeah. So they're searching. A lot of antibiotics come from other bacteria because
yeah,
bacteria kill each other. They're
they're
quite vicious.
very territorial.
So they will look in new places to find new bacterium.
And that's time intensive. And it
Yeah.
takes a lot of research to actually find one of those.
Yeah, they do like spelunking to look in caves for
Yeah.
new bacteria or stuff
It's
like
difficult.
that. And some of them are hard to culture. So they
Yep.
need new culturing methods.
Maybe you should try Frontiria.
Yeah.
That could be something that'll work. And that's nerdiculture.
Okay.
It'd be weird to be in the frontier of bacteria. Pushing the
Yes.
frontier of bacteria research.
Cafeteria bacteria.
My front area. Oh, never mind. All right. So for Technerdy, we're going to talk about electrons.
Are those people that work for the campaigns?
Yes. So this is from a .org.
That's the ones
article.
that, right? The
Right.
electrons.
Yeah.
My brain is weird.
So
Abby something.
I don't know if you guys have heard of the Standard Model.
What? No.
I've only heard of
Basically
the non-standard.
says that there's
only a
protons and
model.
electrons and neutrons stuff, you know.
Oh, the valent or the
Model?
it's boring.
No,
Oh.
it's just like what subatomic particles exist.
Oh, like muons
Oh.
and
And so the
gluons.
yeah, the
gluons.
new
one.
particle physics is trying to figure out what other particles are there that we haven't discovered yet.
Present participle? Or
New ones.
Probably
trying to find the
those.
new ones.
Yes. There's a lot of nuance in muon research.
Yes.
So
Should've
part
put
of
on in the
that's
end.
what they're doing at the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland.
Hey, you found one. Gluons, hadrons.
But that is based on the particles being of a certain energy.
Mhm.
And if they are of that energy, then they would have to make electrons be non-symmetrical.
Mm.
So
Mm.
what they do is they've been trying to test the roundness of electrons. So they wanted to know how pear-shaped they are. So what you do is you could set a pear up on its small end and balance it there.
Mhm.
But if
If
any
you're skilled.
force is applied to it, it would tip over.
Apparently.
So they they do that not using gravity, but using electric
Protons?
dipole moments with electrons to see if they can get them to tip over. And
It's like cow tipping for nerds.
pretty much. But they did a new study with
This one's
that
a muon.
that was 10 times more sensitive, and they still came out that the electrons were perfectly round.
Oh.
Wow.
So this means that the standard model still is the best description for subatomic particles. And it also means that the Large Hadron Collider is not big enough to find any more of these exotic
We
particles.
just transformed the
So
whole
time
world.
to shut it down. Oh.
So the
You're gonna turn into a giant
Future
water slide.
Circular Collider
Oh, it's way bigger.
has a diameter that's like 3 times bigger
If something goes wrong, it's gonna be 3 times as big.
than the Large Hadron Collider, and it's like almost bigger across than
That's gonna be expensive. They
yes.
need to get with Elon Musk with his.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
I should suggest it on Twitter.
So they need to basically create twice the energy as they are capable of doing at the Large Hadron.
So they tried
Collider.
cheerleaders.
To be aggressive,
Yeah.
be aggressive. I'm not sure you could recommend that. I don't know how many
So is the
cheerleaders are in
thing's
Switzerland.
final name going to be called Future Circular Collider?
Yes,
I
it
hope
will. It's
not.
FCC.
It'll probably be like the superlatively large hadron collider or something.
The size of Switzerland Collider.
We're bigger than Switzerland collider.
They should name it after a person.
The DVD collider.
I
Wait,
like
don't
it.
put me in there. Yeah. So they've determined they cannot detect any
Pina
out
Collider.
of roundness in Pina Collider.
That needs to be the end. That needs to be the name. I need to tweet that out. What's the scientist's name? Let's tweet at him.
I don't know.
Why don't they just change the name of the Large Hadron Collider to the Small Hadron Collider?
How about instead of the Large Haddock
Oh.
Collider, the Large Tuna Collider?
It's not haddock.
I've had it with your jokes.
So they
Something
said
smells really fishy.
they basically said that
Something's fishy in
the
Denmark.
electron
I mean,
is so
Switzerland.
round. It's like if you took a perfect sphere the size of the Earth, and shaved less than 2 nanometers off the North Pole and stuck it on the South Pole, that would be more out of round than an electron.
Okay.
Maybe we should change the name to Roundtrons. Spheretrons.
Electrons.
Electrons. Electrons are actually made up of smaller particles that have positive and negative charges, and they're in there in such a way that it comes out with a net negative charge, and all electrons have the same charge, and they're very round. But if there were other particles in there that were theorized by certain models, then it would cause the electron to be out of round, and that's why they're so interested in determining how round they are.
Trying to disprove other people.
They're disproving those particles that the LHC is looking for without using the LHC.
So it's redundant. Roundundant.
Kind of. It is round. It's like a donut. Round donut.
That'd be a donut hole. Donuts are toroidal.
Yeah, that's true. So is the LHC.
Oh. And the future circular collider will be too.
Yeah, because it's got to be.
Oh, I just know it's LHC on there.
Yeah, there's the LHC. There's the future
The Large
circular
Hadron
collider.
Collider.
It has it going under part of Lake Geneva.
That's for cooling.
It could be.
It's going to turn on giant water slide.
Oh, it says
Next-
it will have 10 times the energy of the LHC.
Next, they're going to make an even bigger one that goes under the Loch Ness.
Pure energy.
Pure energy. And that's Technerdy.
Nice.
It's very
So-
nice.
In Detroit recently, there
Oh,
is
boy.
a warrant out for arrest for a 76-year-old man named Douglas Ferguson.
Douglas Ferguson. Sorry, how you found the
He's got a
tree-based
very
name.
funny name. His
Humorous.
parents are hilarious.
That's
Anyway,
funny.
His brother's
couldn't-
name is
he
Aspen.
couldn't be served with the warrant immediately because of the injuries he'd sustained trying to do the crime he was going to be committed or accused of committing, which was trying to kill his son with a chainsaw. Fortunately, he brought a chainsaw to a lawnmower fight.
Oh, what?
So his son was on a riding lawnmower, mowing the lawn when his father came at him with a chainsaw, trying to kill him with it. And so, what do you do if someone's coming out with a chainsaw and you're on a riding lawnmower?
You run him over.
You mow him over.
Oh my gosh. I told you to mow left or right.
I'll show you mowing. I'll mow you down.
Oh man.
I guess he didn't get his allowance.
He did. Well, the guy's 76 and
that's
tried to
true.
kill him, so the guy's probably in his 50s.
That's true. Could be in his 40s.
Could be in his 40s, 30s. And then I read a news article that's basically about a Twitter war between. I can find this real quick.
These are much nicer wars than thermonuclear wars.
You mean like a twarter? Wait, that didn't make sense.
tortoise?
Twarter?
And this is a Twitter war between PETA
Mm-hmm.
and a
The guy
Baltimore
from
restaurant,
Mockingbird.
A
Mockingjay.
what kind of restaurant?
a seafood restaurant in
Oh.
Baltimore
Oh.
named Jimmy's Famous Seafood.
Hmm.
Well, PETA
It's
decided
famous
they were
now.
going to put a billboard across the street from Jimmy's Famous Seafood saying, "I'm a me, not meat," with a picture of a crab and had some other stuff.
But they're delicious.
Right.
Uh,
So
it's debatable.
Yeah.
the owner of went to the headquarters of PETA, which is in Norfolk, Virginia, from Maryland,
Okay.
which is a 3.5 hour drive, apparently.
Okay.
Took a picture of the building, then tweeted it out and says, "PETA, come out. I won't talk to you in the parking lot. So they went back and forth, and other people on Twitter got involved, and there's some pretty funny ones. Let's see if I can find some of the tweets. These are hilarious.
They're hilarious.
Let's see.
People are animals too.
Denying me my steak is unethical.
Yeah, it is.
But they were asking that I saw an interview with the guy that owns Jimmy's Famous Seafood.
Is his name
It's like-
Jimmy?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
It'd be weird if it wasn't,
It's Carl.
right? Wouldn't that be weird if it wasn't? But
Mm.
anyways, he said they asked him if he's afraid of like PETA because sometimes we've had people associated with groups like that can do violence. He's like, no, the only thing that scares me is someone coming after the livelihood of me and all the like people that get their livelihood from this type of stuff.
Those crabbers can get crabby.
That's right.
Oh.
So this lady said, childish taunts are good for business, apparently, in response to.
Sounds pretty passive aggressive.
She's got like pink hair in her picture on Twitter. So Jimmy goes after these guys hard. He's not, guy doesn't pull punches. He's like, look, we won't give you hair advice and you won't give us business advice. Cool? Cool. Well, this guy Kip Graham says, yo, Jimmy, let's be real for a moment. Megan's hair is super rad. So trying to make a joke about her hair is lame. It's 2018. Can't we all just be besties? And once again, her hair is super rad. Your friend Kip. He responds, she's still not going to date you. Hey, for effort, though. Rad effort. She just goes at people. It's hilarious. Apparently, Dave from Wendy's, Wendy's Twitter account is notoriously vicious. So,
What are you doing, Dave? Oh,
that's right.
Making square burgers.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah, but someone else runs the Twitter account, I'm sure.
Or do they?
Ghost
He runs
Twitter.
it
Ghost
from the
Twitter.
dead.
That's horrible.
The new film coming
so
this
scary.
Halloween.
Booer. Sorry. That joke was dead on arrival.
So they said that PETA is actually, they should send him a check for marketing because.
What about Katniss?
Well, at one point they came after him about how many crabs they're killing, or whatever, for their seafood.
Yeah.
And so they looked up information on. I guess they have one shelter, PETA does, and 70% of the animals that go in there get euthanized.
Nice.
And they looked up.
And how many of them are crabs?
Not very many of them at all. They haven't gone off to the medical industry for curing the crabs.
Oh no.
The bacteria count as animals?
But
No,
then when I was like,
No, different.
and PETA posted a link
Family.
on their
People
Twitter
against
to this article.
unethical treatment of bacteria.
They posted an article that they had written themselves. So Jimmy posted an article that was from the Huffington Post, which is not like a conservative bastion of news articles, but was investigative reporting on this PETA place that, and they had some pictures of just bags full of euthanized animals that were just thrown in the dumpster outside the shelter.
Oh.
So they're like, killing animals for their purpose of, feeding humanity's bad, but euthanizing thousands of kittens and puppies, good. Okay. They're definitely not taking the high road in this Twitter battle, but it's not a good Twitter battle if you do.
Are you saying we should be eating kittens and puppies?
No, thanks.
Sure, why not?
At least wearing their fur.
Right.
It's just going to waste.
Like you. Never mind. No, I'm not gonna go there.
Okay.
And that's the news.
All right. Thank you.
I'm so into PETA. I like my crabs. I don't know. That was.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right, let's
Consumption.
do consumption.
I watched one thing.
One thing
see
only.
that.
It's called Dunkirk.
Oh, is it good? That was me making that noise, not you.
Um,
I've not seen it yet.
If-
I have heard mixed reviews.
If you like experimental films, maybe.
It could be said that it was.
I mean,
Have you
at
seen it?
some
No.
points I said Dunkirk. Don't you mean Dumbkirk?
Oh,
Other points I said
that's the-
Dunkirk. Don't you mean Ho Hum Kirk?
that's when Kirk got split through the transporter, right? All these different Kirks.
I wish this was Dunkirk.
If I hadn't known what the whole situation
You wouldn't
behind the
know what
Dunkirk
happened.
thing, then I'd been totally lost in the movie. The reason it's experimental is because he's taking 3 different looks at the Dunkirk evacuation. One from the ground, where the people are on the beach. One from the sea, which are the people coming over to try to rescue him. And one from
deep
the
space.
with the planes that are trying to
One from Australia.
take out the bombers that are destroying the ships that are trying to get them.
And the fourth one,
And-
Antarctica. That's like random fiction.
No, but each one takes place at a different speed. So the
Oh.
airplane stuff only takes like an hour.
How long of a movie is this?
Well, it's all together though.
Oh, okay.
And they'll switch between each ones. But
Oh, the
it is
pace of-
interesting because you'll see something from the plane's point of view. And then way later in the movie, you see it from the boat's point of view.
oh, I got you.
And so it's kind
They
of
should just done a split
interesting
screen.
that way.
Oh, I remember that.
The problem is, one of the problems.
So it's probably bad editing.
Well, one of the problems is, all of the soldiers on the beach looked the same to me.
Oh.
I could not tell who was who, and
That's
so
racist.
unfortunate.
none of the action made sense to me. That was the okay.
They don't they have name tags?
No,
Oh. On their helmets?
it was pretty boring.
Mm,
I
I'm getting that
okay.
feeling.
It won some Academy Awards. That should tell you everything you didn't
Oh,
know.
So
Okay.
when we make a bad film, we should just call it experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We'll
I
call
wouldn't
our
recommend
band
watching it.
experimental.
No, we'll come up with a good band name.
I watched more than one movie because I was
Oh.
homesick.
Yeah, that happens.
I watched a film called Into the Blue.
That's not the alma mater video. is
No,
it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have that one.
it's a Paul Walker and Jessica
Oh,
Alba
okay.
movie
That's
Wait,
on Netflix.
before or after he died?
prior.
Oh.
I think this is even pre like Fast and Furious.
Okay.
It's an older. I think I don't know. Maybe it was
It's a silent
early.
film.
It's before they had color.
It takes place under the water, so yeah, it's silent.
No, but
Is there a shark in it?
there were sharks, but they live in the Bahamas.
They
So-
live in the middle of Kansas.
They live in the Bahamas, and he's a diving expert.
Oh.
And his plan is to just kind of skate
He's
by.
undercover though, right?
No, it's to kind of skate by until he can find a shipwreck and get rich from salvaging it.
Got
And
it.
so after this big storm blows through, he goes looking around to see if anything's uncovered, and he finds
The Lost City of
a
Atlantis.
crashed airplane full of drugs,
Oh.
and
Oh.
hijinks ensue
And he
from
finds
there.
it because all the fish are high.
Yeah. Well,
Flying out of
his
the water.
yeah.
Especially the haddocks.
So it was good. I recommend it. I think it's on
Okay.
Netflix.
I think it is. I've seen it on there. I haven't watched it. I've seen it on there.
It's
Mhm.
good. Good acting. Good
You said Jessica Alba?
Yep.
All right.
in
I'm
a
in.
bikini almost the entire movie.
All
Not
right.
that matters.
Wait, I thought they were in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Oh.
You said they were in the bikinis.
She was wearing a Bahama the entire time. I watched Starship Troopers,
I like that show.
which has
Starships.
what's his name?
Troopers.
It's the guy from the Sing Along blog.
Yes, Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Oh, I was going to say Nick Villian.
Nope, he is not in it.
He's in the Sing Along blog?
Yes, I know that.
Okay, sorry.
He's not in Starship Troopers.
Okay.
So this is about it's in the future, and
Isn't
Year
it written
2000?
by L. Ron Hubbard?
I don't know.
Oh.
But it's one that I've heard mentioned
think
so
so.
many times.
Or Elrond from Lord
You've
of the
never
Rings.
seen it?
And this is the first time I've seen it.
Oh, I've seen it lots of times. I like it.
It's future. Earth's at war with this alien.
They're fighting bugs.
They're fighting giant insects.
Ah.
But meanwhile, there's love triangles going on.
Oh.
And so there's lots of relationship stuff. It was good. It was interesting. Some other faces that you would recognize. Let me pull up because
Catherine Zeta-Jones,
what?
Patrick Muldoon.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember her being in it.
Well, too bad for you.
This is really slow. I should just do it on my
trying to see what
there.
Who wrote the book? Robert A. Heinlein.
Oh, it's a Heinlein book.
Yeah.
I must have been thinking of something else.
I don't remember Catherine Zeta-Jones being in it, but it is kind of an older movie.
1997.
Yeah, that's older.
It's very older.
It's 30 years
21
old.
years old. It's not 30.
Oh, 21 years old. Whatever. I can't math.
As of this recording?
Yeah. I didn't recognize the main character
because he died in the movie.
Because of his thick northeastern accent.
Just kidding.
Oh, there's the cast. Casper Van
Because he's from
Dien,
Maine.
Denise Richards, Dina Meyer.
Isn't that Vanilla Ice's brother? Just kidding.
Casper.
His last name had a Van in it. So
Van Winkle is what's his name?
I know.
Let's see. Michael Ironside.
Clancy Brown.
Jake Busey.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's from the other movie you watched recently, the killing one. What's it called?
I don't know.
It's a horror movie that takes place like a horror movie does.
Oh, Scream 4?
Yeah, isn't he in Scream?
Oh, the original?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think he is.
Let's see. Marshall Bell, you would recognize. I don't see Catherine Zeta-Jones on this list.
Maybe it was wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Dean Norris is in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I think I was thinking of Battlefield Earth.
Christopher Curry. Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
not the greatest movie ever.
Scientology guy.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was a good flick.
I'm not wondering why it said that.
I think I would have remembered that. Oh,
what?
So I finally watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Isn't it bizarre?
It is so good.
I like it.
So my wife wasn't feeling well the other night, and she was like, "I'm going to bed." I was like, "Perfect time for me to watch this movie that you won't like." She's like, "Okay." So I watched it, and it was really good. So then the next day, I stayed home from work because I was sick, and I was telling her about it, and I was like, "Well, it's hard to explain. Let me just show you this scene." So I went to the first fight scene. We watched it. She's like, "Yeah, that was pretty weird." I was like, "Oh, the next one has Chris Evans in it." She's like, "Oh, let's watch that." So we watched the rest of the movie after that. She was like, "That was weird, but it was good, decent."
It's entertaining.
So basically, Scott Pilgrim is played by Michael Cera, and he's really awkward.
Yes, but supposedly a ladies' man.
In the movie, he has like several ex-girlfriends.
Yes,
but he talks this girl that he's like infatuated with because he just happens to see her one time. He finds out she works for Amazon, so he orders something so that she'll deliver it to his house, and he talks her into hanging out with him. So then he gets her number, but every time they go out, one of her evil exes shows up, and he has to fight them video game style.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing like these like Street Fighter moves, and he has to fight them all 7 of them. So, and he's in a band, so there's lots of music through the whole movie and stuff. It's really doesn't take itself seriously at all, which it shouldn't, but it was really good. So I like that. And then I watched a couple of horror movies because it's getting close to Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a Netflix original called Malevolent, which is about these college students. 2 of them are Americans and 2 are British, but they're in Scotland. And because two of them are brother and sister. The Americans are, and their mom thought that she could speak with spirits, and so they scam people by people that think their house is haunted. They show up with like pre-recorded sounds and stuff and pretend like the girl is talking to the spirits to get them to go away. And then they get
interesting.
Well, they
until
get
they meet the real thing.
A job at this place where these kids were murdered and things go haywire. Well, yeah, I don't want to spoil much.
Things go awry.
She was at an event for Starship Troopers when it came out.
Why?
And so she ended up in the list of.
Well, it's like it's like a blip of description of the movie and ... and it has Catherine Zeta-Jones in.
Oh,
appearance at the. It's like,
so it's got it's pretty creepy. It's good. It's good fun. And then I watched a movie called Aramentari, which is it's also a Netflix film, but it's a Basque film. So it's originally
in Spanish.
No, it was originally in Basque.
Is that in Spain?
It's in Spain, but they don't speak Spanish.
The Basque language isn't even related to Spanish.
It's not even a Indo-European language.
Yeah,
but
they're Spanish people.
You can watch it dubbed in English.
They're Basque people.
They live in
They
Spain.
just happen to live in Spain.
But they're a distinct group of people in Spain.
So,
anyways,
they still live in Spain.
That is irrelevant to this. So this takes place in olden
also
times.
Some that live in Nevada.
But if you don't speak Spanish or Basque, it doesn't matter.
There's actually a lot of them in Boise.
I know.
So in this movie, its subtitle is The Blacksmith and the Devil.
So I'd say they're Boiseans.
So this takes place in like Musket times.
Is this the one that has a picture of the girl holding hands with the devil or something?
I don't know.
Oh.
Like Three Musketeer times?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So basically it's
in France?
No.
Oh.
Not
but
place.
The rest of the world existed during that time.
It
also.
did?
Yes, amazingly. This guy shows up in this town from the government and he wants to investigate this blacksmith, and they figure out it's because during a war a few years earlier, a bunch of gold went missing, and they figure out that this government guy is looking for that gold, and they think the blacksmith has it.
He's a gold digger
because he was in the war and he came home. But there's also this talk of his wife killing herself, and then there's this orphan girl in town who her mom killed herself, and so they tease her that her mom is in hell. Well, then nobody goes to the blacksmith's place because it's like walled off and there's all these crosses everywhere and spikes and stuff.
It was busy.
And
he's a blacksmith. He had extra ore.
The girl ends up going in there and he has a demon in a cage. And so then you have to figure out what's all going on. But it wasn't great. It was interesting. But
is it subtitles?
You can watch it in a variety of languages with subtitles, or you can watch it in English dubbed and the words don't exactly match the subtitles.
Do they match the mouth though? Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. If you don't watch shows with subtitles, you could just watch it dubbed. It'd be fine. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's got a lot of like demon lore and stuff. Like they have to, they're compelled to count things. So one way to torture them or distract them is to drop like a bunch of
sand.
Well, they use chickpeas. He had a jar of chickpeas specifically just to torment the demon, and
as one does,
he'd like to brand it when it was back talking. But,
weird.
Yeah. So interesting.
I prefer garbanzo beans. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's go.
I watched 2 Monty Python and Flying Circus related things. There's one that's the best bits of Monty Python, where they interview current comedians about their favorite Monty Python skit, and they show the skit.
Oh.
And then I actually watched some of the Monty Python's Flying Circus today.
Oh,
It's
fun.
on Netflix. First or 4
Oh.
seasons of it.
It is?
Really?
Yeah. So my wife watched it with me. She laughed a couple times.
That's
We-
actually pretty good.
We watched the first episode today.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm gonna check that out.
it's really good. It's on Netflix. Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes, it used to be on Netflix
What?
a
You
long
said
time
you
ago.
watched it today.
I know, but it went off of Netflix
Oh.
for a while.
They came back. It showed up prominently in my "You should watch this" feed. So Netflix is getting to know me. Helps I
Getting
split
Getting
the
to
family.
know all about
It
me.
helps that we split our Netflix account
Yeah.
Oh,
amongst
yeah.
all 5
There
of
you
us.
go.
And sometimes I still get weird things that show up because somebody just was too lazy to
That's a
switch
giant
Netflix
phone.
accounts.
It's not a phone. It's a tablet.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It seems like I've watched other things. I watched a couple more episodes of Game of Thrones season 6, which is really good.
Oh,
There was a climactic part that was exciting. It's like, oh no. Another character dies, which happens all the time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
last week in the show notes, you put GOT Cs6. I'm like, what is Got C's? I don't remember him talking about that. Got C's6. So I
Game of Thrones.
actually Googled
And it came up with the Game of Thrones.
Got C's6, and one of the results was Game of Thrones. I went, oh,
What's
duh.
annoying though is every time I search for it, a show comes up called Game of Thrones on Amazon.
okay.
That's
Weird.
included with Prime if you want to watch that.
Okay.
The Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, you have to pay for episodes.
I doubt I'll watch either of them.
Okay. And
Time for
That's it.
Nerd cred.
Nerd cred.
oh wait, I was gonna say
That's the wrong sound effect for
Dang it.
nerd cred.
I
So,
don't know what to
as
do.
our Facebook followers may have noticed, what are you
That's
doing?
nerd cred
It's
sound
it's a
effect.
Pentel
Oh,
PF337.
I flew one of those, and little Nettie goes over.
Actually, it was my
There's a
stunt double,
Pentel
but I think I can
P205 that
remember.
sounds like this. See the difference?
Why are you distracting me from my nerd cred? We haven't got to yours yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, as our Facebook followers may have noticed, I painted my first minifigure this week.
Yes, you did.
Nice. It looks very good.
Yeah,
It's-
you should paint the one I
It's
have
a
that needs painted.
human wizard.
What kind of paint did you use?
I used acrylic paint that I bought at Walmart.
You're
Nice.
a
$5.
wizard human.
And I bought the paintbrushes with little tiny
Brush
brushes.
Hmm.
And I painted it. Ugh, sorry.
And that's consumption.
What'd you paint first?
What did I paint first?
Because often,
The
oftentimes
brush.
people do like layering, where you start with one color and just
Staff first.
okay.
And then I painted his tunic. You're
I'm that kind of nerd. Yes, I do.
okay. Anyway, it took maybe an hour or so. Got the acrylics paints and mixed them to make new and
Different
interesting colors.
Ooh,
Weird.
And it turned out pretty good, I think.
Cool.
I'm interested
So-
in painting. My fish at work name is Bob Ross.
Oh, there you go. Do you have any minifigures you want to paint?
I do.
Then you can borrow my paints.
Okay. I have some paints. I'm not sure if they're acrylic or not.
Oh.
Those ones that come in little tubes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've got some of those for Christmas because
Yeah.
my cube mate and I were going to do a Bob Ross challenge where we're going to
Ah,
watch a Bob Ross episode and paint the same thing he was painting and
Uh-huh.
then have people at work judge us.
that'd be cool.
Haven't done
Yeah,
it yet.
so-
I have the canvas and I've got the paints and the brush and everything. And
So
Cube mate, that's about
at
anything.
Walmart, I Googled, what paint do you use for painting D&D minifigures? And the first thing came up was acrylics. I'm like, all right, $5. I'll grab it. Let's go.
a lot of guys use like the little airbrush things. They have some techniques for doing that. They're really cool.
Are they very precise?
That's where layering comes in.
Oh, because the problem I had was I don't notice a tremor
Parkinson's disease.
usually, but when you're holding this little tiny brush for so long and trying to get little tiny details.
That's
Well, I'm
why you
con-
have to hold the minifigure too, so you synchronize.
This is the same hand.
Well, the thing is, if you got to be careful, you can't paint it because then it'll come off.
Right. I'm
on your
concerned
fingers.
about my hold my breath when I'm doing in close-up work.
Oh,
So
you
I don't do
pass
those.
out.
I don't do those little metal folding things anymore because I worked on them for an hour and a half, and then was physically ill afterwards from lack of oxygen and lightheaded. I was like, I don't know. I think I was
And he
holding
was
my
on
breath.
top of a mountain.
And that.
And that's my nerd cred.
Excellent. So I've got some nerd cred to hand out.
Oh, boy.
What does that
First
mean?
up,
Oh.
LFG,
Oh, okay.
3D printed
A TIE fighter.
this beautiful TIE
Awesome.
fighter,
Oh,
which he gifted to the Enginerdy show to put on our shelf.
nice.
So after
Should
they
we
show,
paint it?
we could probably paint it.
Oh, I know somebody who has some painting
Acrylic
stuff.
paints.
I don't want to use up all my gray and
Black.
white paint. I don't have gray. I think it's just black and white.
Yeah.
You don't have to use white.
If you want to make gray,
Oh. Why gray?
Anyway, so that would go on our shelf back here as soon as it was on
find
there
room.
already, but then I brought it down so I could have a close up
oh,
of it.
okay.
He also printed some miniature figures
Oh,
that on the scale of the other miniature figures I have, but they're all goblins, so it's fine.
oh, cool.
And it's cool having miniature figures the right size or whatever, but they're just placeholders on. It's fine, and they're fun to look at. Those might also need painted. They did a really good job on those. So, then I have some nerd cred to hand out to Rob Hancock, one of our fans' wives.
Oh.
His birthday's today, so she made him a Star Trek birthday cake, which
It
is
looked
awesome.
She
Cool.
made that?
I don't know.
Or she got it for him?
Maybe she got it for him. But I posted on his
Either
on his
way,
feed,
still pretty cool.
not to let Deanna Troy anywhere near it, or she'd drop
Right.
it on a mountain.
It was the original series.
I don't think she discriminates. I think
Or
she'd
her
crash
ancestors.
any Enterprise.
Any Troys.
I don't think they discovered the Beta Zeds by the original
One
series.
of her ancestors was human.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I just always figured it was the Beta Z side that crashed the ship.
Why?
I don't know. I just made that up right now to make my other statement make
Okay.
sense.
Oh, nice.
All right. So for feedback, we got a comment on the picture of
Oh.
Mr. Pold's minifig from Matthew McDonough from the.
He's got a beholder picture.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. And it says, "I'd like to have a word with you."
do you know anything about beholders?
Didn't we fight one?
No.
Oh, you were watching a show where they were fighting one.
I really want to have somebody face a beholder, but it'd kill an early party
Ah.
because each of his little tentacles with eyes has a different ray it shoots out.
Oh, that's
There's a disintegrate ray. There's
yeah. You were watching a show
Yes.
where they were fighting one.
Well, yeah, and they got disappointed
That he
and
didn't
how
kill
well
everyone?
the characters were rolling.
Oh, they were all
And
rolling
he was
well.
rolling for random like attacks, and the disintegration ray never hit anyone, which was unfortunate. We don't get to kill a character. Having never killed a character yet, I'm interested to see what I do when that happens.
I came pretty close.
Should I be warning my
dying.
coworkers that you're going to kill them off?
I'm thinking about doing. I've heard some DMs do where if your character dies, they take your character sheet and they rip it in half,
That's why I make copies.
so you can just bring back their twin.
Yes.
Like
But it's fun to make characters.
then he woke up
Oh.
the next day and realized it was all a dream.
I'll just take it to another DM.
Oh, he's
Oh, you just
DM
cheat on me.
cheating
just
on
kidding.
you.
Just don't ever kill my character for me.
What's fun is another guy I watch his DM tips when he plays games. He oftentimes has people just roll their stats and put them in order on their sheet, and that informs you of what your character should be. And then when that character dies, then you can create whatever character you want.
Well, I was thinking of creating some extra characters just in case some of my coworkers'
It's smart.
characters die. Then
If
I
they
can say,
do-
here, take this one.
I've also got a bunch of ones I've made. But
I just like to shoot my crossbow and then dive into the nearest doorway.
it's better than doing it the other way. I did it backwards again.
Wait, what?
Anyway.
If you want to contact us, send an email to engineerdyshow@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Engineerdy Show. You can go to our website, theengineerdyshow.com. If you go to the menu at the top, you can go to our t-shirt page where you can get a t-shirt with our Vulcan Salute logo on it. You can also click through to Amazon to do your Amazon shopping. That supports us. And you can also follow us on there or on our website, not on Amazon.
So when are we going to come to your garage and make up music with our instruments? Just kidding.
I got to clean my garage out, but that'd be a good
okay.
excuse to get
Yeah.
the
How
drum
about we
kit
do it in
set
my
up.
garage, and I'll give you guys an excuse to let me get the Fiero out.
Yeah, there you go.
But we can't work on it till your son pays for parts.
Well,
No, he's
I'm gonna
gonna-
buy a part.
He's
Oh,
gonna
are
just
you?
pay.
Since we're not
fund
buying a
it.
new engine, I have the feeling of we have
You
free
have-
paychecks next month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
What?
You
The
can
Fiero?
just extract
yeah.
it from your son over time. Just be like, hey, can I borrow $5? Every time I see you, it's $5. It's been going on for 20 years, Dad. Well, you should see me more often. All right. Thank you for listening this week.
Live long and nerdy.
You have been and always shall be my friends.
Wait, did we tell them how to contact us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I can remember.
You fell asleep for
I use my radio voice.
That's why